What would be most useful for you today to discuss regarding this personal statement?
I want to know, do you think I connected with my audience? Was it too generic? What can I do to fine tune it so that I really want to make a lasting impression?
Yeah, sure. So I think it has promise, but I also think there are a couple of areas that could use a little bit of improvement. I think it fell prey to a couple of common pitfalls. And I know that may not be what you want to hear, but I'm in the interest of serving you rather than pleasing you to help you make the best personal statement
that's what I want to hear.
All right, so let's just start off from the top. You started off with a quote. Now, personal statement, you've got a very limited amount of space to make a lasting impression. You've only got 2 pages, double spaced. And so if I were working with you, I would say, don't include a quote. I don't want you using any words in the essay other than words coming from you personally.
Gotcha.
You can still communicate the same theme, but I would want you to communicate it directly and showing it rather than illustrating your life story as an example of a quote.
Right.
A couple of the other things that stood out were that you kind of gave a general overview towards the middle of the statement about your career. You were talking about teaching secondary school students, right?
Right.
But you were also talking about your time in college, balancing that with other obligations.
Right.
So I would suggest pick one thing and go deeper on that rather than giving a more general overview of various difficult things you've encountered.
Okay. That makes sense.
Thing is, you don't want it to just be a laundry list of your resume. You want to take one thing and go really deep on that. They're still going to have your resume to the side anyway. So if they want the context, if they want the background, you can give them all of that.
Sure. Okay.
Out of the various topics that you covered in the statement, is there one particular area that you would want to go deeper on?
Well, let me ask you, because all the topics that I talked about, I would like to go deeper on. But you being the professional and some of the topics that you heard, which would you like to hear me go deeper on or expound on?
I could share with you my thoughts, but I'm not you. I haven't met you. I haven't lived your life. When you think about why you want to go to law school, what stands out to you as being an experience you've had that especially illustrates your reasons for going, or the background you have that's relevant to law school, or the skills involved, or the experiences you've had?
I think it's an amalgamation of things. I don't think it's just this one stellar moment that says, oh, law school. I think it's my combined life experience that says, you know what? It's time for me to take this to the next level.
Fair enough. But if we were to implement that, that would be going even beyond this statement, right? We'd have to give them your entire autobiography from day one.
Right. Throw the ball back in your court. There were some things that I wrote about that I felt were very important. I want to know which one of those things that captured your attention.
One thing that I thought was especially interesting was the work for the nonprofit mortgage broker.
Okay.
That caught my attention because I think it's especially unique, and it's also working with certain communities and helping them as an advocate of sorts.
Sure.
So lawyers are advocates. So although your work was not legal in nature, it's unique. I think it could have the makings of a compelling story. And so that's one area that I might encourage you to go deeper on. Okay. How long were you there for? And were there, especially after the riots, I mean, that especially is a compelling time.
But you know what? As we're talking, there is one thing that, and I'll share this with you. Including that experience, I've been in ministry, probably 20 plus years. I did a church plant here in Houston, and I was going through a moment in the ministry where we were helping people spiritually, but a lot of the individuals that we encountered were dealing with some real legal issues. And I remember, just really coming to this clarion moment where, we've got so many churches that are ministering to the spiritual man, but we've got some people out here that are dealing with some real issues that goes beyond just the spiritual man. And I kind of went on a sabbatical for 1 year, and that's when I decided, it's time for me to advocate for those that need some real legal help. That's really what brought me to the point of, because I was getting ready to get enrolled in seminary. I took a introduction class, and I said, you know what? I looked at the cost. I'm like, man, I'm about to spend almost near $100,000, but on things that I already know, but I'm still not helping the individuals that I see need the help. That's the real story.
Then that's what you should write about.
Gotcha.
I love that. I love that topic. I love that story, because you're acting as a counselor.
Right.
You're acting as a counselor. You're helping people in need. You're giving them advice, and a lot of the issues they're facing are legal in nature. Hence, that's why I want to go to law school, to better serve my ministry, to better serve my congregation, to help those people in need, to be their advocate.
Absolutely. That's the story. That is when I said, and I don't want to sound super spiritual on it, but that's when I heard that inner voice that said, there is more that is required of you. And that's when I said, okay, I got to get busy.
Then I want you to give me at least 500 words focused on that specifically. Then at the end,
Gotcha.
You can zoom out and say, why law school? And at the start, talk about a specific member of your congregation that you were speaking with. That highlight that moment in time, then zoom out from there.
Got it. Absolutely. That's the true story. When I started writing that, I don't know if you know, man, but I've been you probably don't know, I mentioned it in the story, but I was just in a head-on collision with a semi-truck, and I did good to get that out. But as I've read over it over and over again, I'm like, man, that's not really the nature, the essence of why I want to be in law school, why I want to be an attorney, why do I want to advocate for those that need an advocate. Yeah, got it.
All right, great. So we could go deeper on this here, but I think you've got enough. I think you've got your insight. So I just want you to go home and start writing. Don't edit while you write. Just spill it all out. Then later you can go back and revise it. But I want you to get all those details out, because you never know what nuggets you're going to find. Absolutely.
Yeah, that was very helpful. I tried to get my wife. She said, oh, it's so great. It's good. I need some real critique, because I'm trying to take it to the next level. So I got to go back to the drawing board. I appreciate that.
No, of course. But I think you've got your direction now.
Yeah. No doubt. Well, hey, man, have a happy Thanksgiving, you and your family. And I will keep in touch. I promise you.
Thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already to be notified of new episodes as I release them. And feel free to reach out if you need anything at all as you move forward with your prep. I'm happy to help however I can. In the meantime, I'll wish you all the best and take care.